Yeah. And I love this idea of giving something away, doing something for free. So setting up the free screening, and then people, again, economics are often a barrier of entry. So if you're putting something for people to engage with in the middle of a place that maybe they walk by 1,000 times, but they've never stopped before, it just changes the way people think about a space. And I'm curious what you think also about that idea of free and whether people value something more or less if they don't have to pay for it. And of course, one of your very first projects was called Free Space.
Yeah, the gift is really important. And there's even the book, The Gift, and it talks about this kind of unconditional giving. And usually that's reserved to your family or your child or something. You're not expecting anything in return. But if you can do that with a community or with strangers, you start to build this more familial, like, close relationship. And so, yeah, I've spent a lot of years playing in the free realm, because also a lot of these places in these contexts I work, they don't have any money. But I so believe in the power of human capital, of getting a group of excited people together to do something. And oftentimes you can do more with no money than with some money. And also a lot of times people wait, or they have this idea and then they wait until someone else gives them money or funds it, and you don't do anything when, really, if you have people ready to go, you can just do it. And so, yeah, that was Free Space. Free Space was a project that started in San Francisco in 2013, where we rented a building that was on the market for $24,000 a month, and I was able to secure a $1 lease for it. They weren't able to find a tenant for, it's been like a year or something, and the owner was freaking out, and the bank wanted to see a long-term tenant, but everything was startup, so he wasn't able to find a long-term tenant, and we were able to get it for $1 a month, and we opened it up as this gift to the community and made these principles of everything had to be free, no ego, no logo. We wanted people not just to come in as a co-working space, but as a co-creation space. Participant, and by those conditions, we created this space that had 119 events in our first 30 days that filled the place with murals, that filled the place with furniture and sound equipment and bike repair and yoga, and everything happened there. And it was just this outpouring of engagement. And the other term is the third place, which is urban sociologist Ray Oldenburg came up with in his book, The Great Good Place. And it's home is the first space, work is your second, and that third space is where you choose to spend time, not out of obligation or responsibility, but because you want to be there. And that can, often has been coffee shops, but it can also be public space. And, another thing that's so great about those spaces is they do have a low barrier to entry. And I mentioned earlier about the importance of having a diverse set of people, a diverse set of experiences and opinions. And, we know that that's important in stock portfolios and in biodiversity and nature, but it's also really important in culture, or I find it really important in culture to have these places where people can go of different ages and generations, different socioeconomic status, different cultural backgrounds, that's really where I think you're able to kind of get a sense of and people can get a sense from each other of what really matters to them. And so, again, San Francisco, it really worked, but this also works in these refugee contexts because there's still the siloing of people from different cultures and generations and capabilities, and that's really what I've strived to do in every place.